Hi, everybody. This is Jennifer Hochell Pressimone, and welcome to Aromatherapy for Weight Management. We are also going to talk about holistic solutions for a healthier you. If you have any questions during the presentation, please don't hesitate to ask. So there's a little chat box. You can type your questions in, or you can unmute yourself and ask me as well. I want this to give you the information that you need. That way you can achieve your healthiest self. So when we talk about weight, I'm not talking about any particular number, because to me the number doesn't matter. It's where do you feel the strongest and where do you feel the healthiest. So I'm Jennifer, and I have a lot of teaching experience. By no means am I an expert. I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. I don't prescribe. I like to share what I know, either through personal experience or through working with my customers. And so I do own GenSense and the GenSense Institute, so welcome all of my students. I am a director and a board member and public relations coordinator with NAHA, which is the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy. They really set the international standards for aromatherapy, and we actually are having a World of Aromatherapy conference later on this year in September 2014 in Seattle. So for those of you that can make it out there, we have some amazing speakers and amazing topics. So let's jump right in and let's talk about aromatherapy in general. That way you kind of get an understanding of the history, how it can work for you, why does it work for you, and what specific things can you do to accomplish your personal health goals. So aromatherapy has been around and has documentation for over 6,000 years. There is a lot of historical uses from way back when to now. It's used today's world. We use it in our food, in our body, and cleaning products, our skin products, our perfumes. But let's understand what we're talking about when I talk about aromatherapy, and in particular essential oils. So 100% pure essential oils, meaning they are not adulterated at all. Their job is to help you address, alter, shift, adjust, or change your mood, your behaviors, your actions, your reactions to situations, your emotions. So it's helping you on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. And so just think about, in your daily life, what aromatherapy are you using every day? You know, is it in your skincare products, your body care, your cleaning? You know, what parts are you using? Because I bet you are surrounded by aromatherapy every day. So the history, we look at the Egyptians, they used it in the mummification process. The Greeks and the Romans, Hippocrates talks about taking a daily bath and massage to prolong life. And so a lot of people think, oh, I just don't have time to take my bath, much less an aromatherapy bath, because they think that's spa time. A lot of women, they feel guilty about taking time for themselves. But some of the things that these daily baths can do is it cleanses you. We go through a lot of challenges, successes, challenges, happy times, sad times. We go through a lot of stimuli during one day. And so when you're able to cleanse yourself and to flush all of those toxins that you endured for the day down the drain to kind of release them, that's great. So whenever you add aromatherapy in through like mixing it with some bath salts, mixing it in some bath gel, and taking a nice aromatherapy bath, you're enhancing your body's ability to relieve some of the stress that you've been under. This is going to be really key, because I'll already tell you early on, there's 2 secrets to maintaining a healthy body. And when you have a healthy body, you have a healthy weight. And the 2 secrets are stop the toxins from coming in and in that same breath, you get what's already in, you get it out, so no toxins, and you manage your stress. I can't tell you no stress because that's ridiculous. We don't live in a bubble. We're going to have stress. So you manage it. Remember what I said, aromatherapy helps you adjust, shift your mood, your behaviors, your actions, and reactions. And so part of this process is rejuvenating yourself. So we go back to the Greeks and the Romans, and we do a daily bath and even a massage, because massage moves the lymphatic system, which carries nutrients in and out of the body. Remember, bringing in nutrients so the body can release toxins and stop toxins from coming in. And second, managing your stress. The Persians are noted to be the very first people to discover distillation. And what that means is, if you think of a plant, you think of lavender, and you take these flowers and you place it in a still, okay, and when it's distilled, it's got some water added, and you're heating up the water, and what it's doing is, whenever you're taking these flowers, you're going to get this essence that comes from it, and the beginning of that essence is going to be this molecule where it's got water and oil. And when you do it for so long, the water and the oil separates, and that oil that you get is an essential oil. That's important to note, because your essential oils are over 100 times more potent than your plants. So when I'm talking tonight about aromatherapy and I talk about chamomile, it doesn't mean you can go have some chamomile tea. Sorry, it's not going to do the same. It's not going to be the same potency. It's going to give some of the benefits, but not the potency that we're looking for when we talk about aromatherapy. The French, amazing fact here, the 17th century Black Plague killed 1/3 of the population. 1/3 of the population died because of the plague. Wow, that's amazing. 2 groups of people did not get affected. And those 2 groups of people, perfumers, because at the time those perfumers were working with the plant matter and the essential oils, and glove makers, because the gloves stunk, so they had to dip the gloves into these vats of essential oils to make them smell better. The Bible has over 100 different references: frankincense, myrrh, spikenard, there's a couple others. In World War II, aromatherapy was used. Essential oils were used by Dr. Jean Valnet to treat battle wounds of soldiers. And he further used that for psychiatric medication, for post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury. Think about our veterans these days, how much benefit they can get from the aromatherapy. So just a couple tips on safety, because what I've learned through my years of teaching, a lot of people think more is better, and we have to go back and we have to talk safety. So when you're using your essential oils, you want to keep them out of the reach of children, elderly, and pets, because we don't want to drink the bottle. We don't want to pour it on the skin and cause some irritation to the skin. It needs to be in a carrier. So you want to dilute them before using it topically. I know there's a lot of different companies out there that don't necessarily teach that, and there's 2 schools of thought there. Some of those companies, their oils are they're not a concentrate. It's not 100% pure. They are adulterated. They are cut. So through certain testing, we can find that out. So they're really not at full potency. That's why some people are not having the reactions. But whenever you think about your skin is a fat. And underneath the skin is your lymphatic system, this fluid. And your essential oils are not water soluble, they're fat soluble. So we need to emulsify them in a fat so they can carry into the body and soak in at a natural absorption rate and not block the receptor sites underneath the skin. These are some key points when we're looking to maintain a healthy self, which again gives you that healthy weight. Because when your system gets clogged and your lymphatic system gets clogged, your body's not allowed nutrients to get in, and then your body thinks it's in a feast or famine, and it's not going to release weight. There's a lot of people I hear all the time, I've plateaued, I'm not making a difference. This is one thing, keeping the lymphatic system moving is really important. All of your citrus oils are photosensitive, which means definitely don't put lemon on the skin and go out in the sun. It'll cause pigmentation to the skin. We don't want to ingest the oils. There's a time and a place we do that. There's a right way and a wrong way. So you want to make sure you're working with a trained professional if you do that. And your oils are fat soluble, not water soluble. So if you get it in your eyes, flush it out with milk. And then if somebody has a serious health condition, so if you have a serious health condition or somebody you're working with, just make sure you know what's going on and look at the contraindications of the oils that you're using. For example, rosemary, it's very heating to the body, and it can help increase low blood pressure. So for somebody with high blood pressure, we don't necessarily want to use rosemary. We want to use ylang ylang. We want to use bergamot. We want to use some fruits, some peppermints. Quality is going to be really important. I have to share that with you because the information I'm giving you is based on the highest quality. I'm not going to tell you that all this is going to work if you go to the local convenience store and buy a cheap bottle of essential oil that's not pure. So quality is really important because different species give you different properties, different harvesting practices, meaning they're picked at different times of the day, and that different altitudes. Suppliers, knowing the supplier that you're getting it from, that they've done the testing. Because when you go to Bath and Body Works, these are not your pure essential oils. And so, yes, lavender may relax you, but are you getting the therapeutic benefit? The therapeutic benefit, going back to the definition of, is it going to open up and support your body on a therapeutic level to help you address, shift, change, your mood, your emotions, your reactions, and actions? When you're using chemical-based, like a lot of your perfumes, and this is going to be one key that you really want to take note of, how many people are using perfumes? And I'm talking to you guys, so think about yourself. Do you use perfume? And if you're answering yes, where do you apply that perfume? And many of you are pointing to your neck, your thyroid, your lymphatic system. And did you know most of your perfumes contain over 6,000 chemicals on the low end, anywhere from 6,000 to 50,000 chemicals. And where did you just place those chemicals? You placed it on your thyroid. And many of us already know that your thyroid is responsible for being our gas pedal, our metabolism, our desires, our hunger, our thirst, our sexual desires. It's responsible for hormones. It plays an integral part of our whole glandular system. Thyroid, adrenal, reproductive, pancreas, liver. It's a huge component there. And so what we want to think of is we want to enhance our lymphatic system, support our immune system, not congest it. That's why quality is important. And in general, your essential oils, they have a fingerprint, they have DNA, and this DNA gives rise to the certain properties that they're going to give you. So your oils some come from your fruits, which are cold compressed, and some are distilled from the other parts of the plant. You've got over 400,000 different plants. Not all of them yield a pure essential oil, which means it's going to give you a therapeutic property such as antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. All of your 100% pure, unadulterated essential oils, all of them are antibacterial. They're going to vary: antiviral, antifungal, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and we're going to get into that. So this is huge. Did you know that your sense of smell, out of all of your entire senses in the body, your sense of smell, first of all, it teaches you how to taste. And that's a key component when we're talking about weight. Your sense of smell teaches you how to taste. But also, it's your only sense that does not go through the spinal cord or digestive tract. It means it doesn't have to go through any processing. It is super VIP. When you smell something, it is faster than instant. Less than 1 second, your body has already received the stimuli, processed the stimuli, and created a response, and faster than you can snap your fingers. Because what happens is this scent enters your nose and it hits that hypothalamus, which is your master gland. It tells your body, it's like a command center. It goes to the pituitary to tell your pituitary how to handle a response. When you're stressed, a lot of people nervous eat. They eat because they're bored. They eat because they're nervous. They have anxiety. Well, we know anxiety is related to blood sugar imbalance. And a lot of people think that they need this quick energy to handle it, these comfort foods, so we go after sugars, when that's the worst thing we could do. We need to be going after proteins and fats. Your brain is 70% fat. I mean, it's water and fat. We need to nourish our bodies with water and fat. That's huge. If you're looking at, okay, I need to put some foods down that are going to be good for me, water and fats. Avocados, salmon, nuts, some beans, legumes. But this is important because when your pituitary tells your body how to respond, we want to manage stress, not enhance stress, not feel overwhelmed by the stress that we can't, we're going to break down. We don't want to get angry. And there's certain scents that create different responses. So some scents, such as lavender and chamomile, will relax you. Some are going to energize you. So when you're in a stressful situation, do you need to calm down, or do you need enough energy to handle that situation? These are some points that you want to think about when you're choosing essential oils to help you, because remember, no toxins, less stress. Manage the stress. And your limbic system, that's the old part of the brain. That's where we have our memories and emotions and feelings. It's this emotional file cabinet. It's your emotional brain. So we need our body to be in complete communication and unison. Your head needs to be in alignment with your heart, which needs to be in alignment with your gut. All three of them together simultaneously. Because when you have a balance here, then you're not going to be consumed and overwhelmed and feel defeated and owned by these emotions, which are a result of stresses that you were not able to manage, sometimes because of an overload of toxins. So, pretty neat little system here. So physical benefits that you're going to get, if you are currently experiencing muscle aches and pains, if you're having skin issues, you're not able to get a full breath and really breathe, because I talk about two things you need are fat and water. You need to breathe. So sitting in your chair where you are now, I want you to take your hands and I want you to clasp them behind your back. Open up that chest bone, open up that chest area, and put your hands behind your back. You can't slouch doing this. Now take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And wow, how does that feel? Sometimes I remember when I was taught this, like I didn't know it, I just didn't do it. I remember going, wow, that's what a breath feels like. Because your shoulders just release. You're not holding this tension. And when you do that enough, you don't really have certain cravings. A lot of times when we're hungry, or we think we're grabbing for food, it's because you're thirsty, or you need to breathe. And you can't slouch doing that. So if you're a sloucher, then put your hands behind your back. And even if you only do 3 good breaths a day, then you did 3 good breaths a day. Now, if you can do this 3 times a day, then you'll have 9 good breaths a day. And then if you do this for, a couple weeks, now you've created a habit. They say it takes 21 days to create a habit. The things I'm going to share with you tonight is to help you create a healthy habit. It's a habit. It's automatic. You don't have to think about it. It's not a new toy. I'm not giving you the secret diet. I'm teaching you healthy habits that become a part of your life, because then it's not a new toy that you want to play with for 2 weeks and get rid of and move on to something else, because this works. But if you're having urinary, and going back a step, muscle aches and pains, what are you angry about? What is just really making you feel acid and resentful? With respiratory issues, what are you grieving about? What do you feel guilty about? With urinary and bladder issues, what are you fearing? With digestion and intestinal issues, what are you worrying about? Hormone, liver, adrenal, thyroid, pancreas, a lot of anger, just bitter, resentful, so much so that you've lost the sweetness of life. You have no joy. You don't know what it's like to have a joy, just to crack up laughing for no reason and be okay with that. Those are important, so I'm making those connections because when we talk about mental benefits of the essential oils, it can help with depression, stress, anxiety, panic attacks, people that are indecisive and confused and procrastinate, because when you eat a lot of sugar, a high sugar, high carb diet, low fat, low hydration, this will happen. You can correct this simply by upgrading your food choices, shifting your food choices to actually nourishing foods, fats, hydration, proteins versus sugar and carbs. These are connections here. Concentration, focus, same thing. I find people with parasites and yeast and candida overgrowth can't really think. They're always confused. They can't concentrate, can't focus, which leads into no courage, no self-confidence, no self-esteem, insecure. And that really makes you controlling and a perfectionist, and you just never can achieve that. It's almost this unattainable perfectionism. And then here we go with the emotions: anger, frustration, liver, grief, guilt, disappointment, lungs, fear, afraid, phobias, kidney, love and rejection, heart, circulatory issues, negative thinking. Let's change that into positive thinking. Let's bring us into this joy and happiness. So these are the 6 areas we're going to focus on, because I think these are critical points when we're talking about essentials for you for weight management. We need to manage that stress. We need to give you some brain support. And part of the brain support is detoxifying, taking the trash out that got in and keeping the trash from coming in. Because all that's going to help you with energy. Everybody wants energy and a better night's sleep. Well, we all do. And believe it or not, you can have that. Some people say it's been years and chronic and I'm just never going to have that. Yes, you can. Posture and movement, this is huge. Because all of that is going to give you emotional balance. So let's talk about how can you manage your daily stress. Okay, we have to multitask every day. That's just going to happen. We're going to have high demands. We have to work in a workplace, whether you were self-employed or you're actually in a work setting. You're going to have to deal with different personalities every day. And you're going to have stress every day. But your actions and your reactions are going to determine how your body internalizes that. And so it's not going to be easy. And yeah, there's sometimes you're going to multitask and you're going to feel, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I got way too many things to do. I'm not going to go to the bathroom till I get this pile done. You know, we reward ourselves for getting through things when we have so many high demands. That's just not going to happen. So what are some things you can do? So you're multitasking, you have demands, you're in a workplace, you're dealing with personalities, you're stressed. Let's look at some essential oils that you will now have in your toolbox to help you. Any citrus oil. Pick any citrus oil. Even if you grab the fruit of lemon, orange, or grapefruit, but grab your citrus oils and let's smell them. This is going to give you some energy, invigorate. It's going to make you happy. They also have vitamin C in them, so they're going to increase your immune system. It's going to bring some clarity. They're purifiers to decongest the lymphatic system and purify communication pathways in your body. When we eat, it sounds simple, but do you know that your body has to actually take in this food, break it down, wring out the nutrients, get rid of the waste, That's why we have bowel movements and we urinate and we have mucus. We have eliminative channels. But then it has to take those nutrients and it has to go give it to the cells so the cells can go deliver messages to the rest of the body, and it keeps everything in communication. So responsible for transporting the nutrients so that we can communicate. Okay, when this doesn't happen because we eat the wrong foods or we eat nutrient not rich in nutrients, we eat, lack of nutrient foods, then your body kind of starves. Your bones store your vitamins and your minerals. And so if your body's able to get the nutrients from the food, great, you got great bones. Your bones rebuild themselves every 7 years. But if you're putting in fake foods or false foods that your body's like, hey, you're making me work and I'm not getting paid for it, then your body has to start leaching it from your bone. That's important to know because your pH is off, which is going to throw your thyroid off. It makes your body think it's in a famine state. Famine means you're putting stuff in, but that ain't food. And I'm not getting any nutrients, so I'm not going to be able to let anything go because I don't know when my next nutrient-rich meal is going to be. And when that happens, then your body doesn't release any weight. I use the word released weight a lot because lose weight, you can find things you lose. If you're losing weight, most people don't want to find it. So we're going to release that. But sometimes your body has to have enough energy to help all this and to decongest that lymphatic system. Your citrus oils are great. There's a blend from Soul Naturals called Balance that I formulated. And in this Balance blend, you have frankincense, geranium, lavender, palmarosa, and Mei Chang. And Mei Chang is also known as Litsea cubeba, which is a fruit. It comes from a fruit. Okay, remember your fruits are going to have some vitamin C. They're going to build the immune system. 60 to 80% of your immune system's in your gut. When you don't have good gut health, you have no immune. But the frankincense is highly anti-inflammatory because when we're stressed, it throws our inflammatory response up. Geranium is just a balancer. Lavender is perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. Just makes everything, hold hands and sing kumbaya. Perfect harmony. And palmarosa is equally balancing, just in a different way. So we're coming at this from 5 different angles to bring overall balance. Remember, I want your head, your heart, and your gut connected so you make better decisions in life, but also food choices. So the Balance blend is wonderful. This is my favorite. I originally created this formula for hormone balance. A lot of us have hormonal weight. Either through our periods, we have, bloating, gas, muffin top, through menopause, weight just shifts, estrogen gets thrown off. So Balance is wonderful for that hormonal side of things. Chamomile essential oil, Roman chamomile, is very calming. It's for the caretaker, people on the go, give, go, take care of everything, peacemaker, caretaker. This is your chamomile. Ylang Ylang is going to help with daily stress because it helps with heart palpitations. So have you ever been so stressed that you were having chest pains? Your heart is beating so fast and you're breathing so fast and you're shaking with anxiety. And now your whole body's vibrating because you're stressed. Ylang Ylang is really nice to balance that. The flowers of geranium and palmarosa in that Balance blend can help do the same thing. The Lift formula that I formulated for Soul is a combination of some spice, some camphracus, herbaceous camphracus scent of Ravensara, and your fruits. So cinnamon is like giving yourself a big hug. When you feel defeated, that whole story of, I just had a bad day and I'm sad and I'm just going to go eat a whole big tub of Ben & Jerry's. Oh no, go smell you some cinnamon or put cinnamon on it. And that will help. Smelling your oils. There's 2 ways to smell your oils. I'm going to teach you 2 techniques. So if you have an essential oil bottle, I want you to take it and hold it in your hand. If not, you can take a pen. for this exercise. Now I want you to put, if you're holding it in your right hand, I want you to put your hand right in front of your shoulder, okay, same level as your shoulder, and you're going to move it from shoulder to shoulder, underneath your nose. Okay, this is called wafting. Wafting allows, and you're not putting it directly under your nose, but you're moving it, a few inches below your nose, because now you're letting the essence of the essential oil get out of the bottle and take in the full notes. Actually taking a drop and putting it on a cotton ball and wafting it would be great as well. But this is wafting. Okay, this is enticing your taste buds. It's initiating, engaging the body. There's certain times we want to draft the oils. So take that same oil or that pin and place it almost directly underneath one nostril. Do not touch the nostril because you don't want to contaminate the bottle, but you're putting it under one nostril and you're going to inhale 8 to 10 times. So when you do that per nostril, 8 to 10 times per nostril, when you do that, remember what I said in the very beginning, your sense of smell teaches you how to taste. When you draft, that satiates your taste buds. So by satiating your taste buds, it overcomes cravings. And it can overcome appetite, and it can also help you overcome blood sugar imbalances. The lift is one of my favorites. Cinnamon in particular, if you're using cinnamon and orange together really work great in this situation. But the orange and the lime and the grapefruit, I'm opening up, I'm lifting the spirit, lifting the emotions, but I'm also decongesting the lymphatic system, because when we get emotionally stuck, when you have regurgitated thoughts and you get stuck in holding a grudge and you have this thought in your head that just keeps going round and round on the merry-go-round and you can't stop it, then it tells me your lymphatic system is stuck. So choosing any oil to open up the lymphatic system would be great. Chamomile, your Roman chamomile, is really good to help stop that mental chatter as well. And then if you are a flower essence fan, there's a company called Nature's Sunshine that does a combination of flower essences, and they do this with the Flower Essence Society. So if you work with single flower essences from the Flower Essence Society, you can make your own combinations, and they do have a 5-flower remedy too. But you have stuff, distress remedy. I like this one over the Bach Rescue Remedy because it's in glycerin. When I'm working, I personally don't do well with the alcohol, but when I'm working with pets and children, I don't like doing the alcohol. So I look for a glycerin-based. Okay, and this can calm stress. Anytime trauma happens, drama happens, you just really need to take it down a notch. I also want to be able to share some holistic solutions with you to make a more complete approach. So yes, we're smelling oils because it's instant. And a lot of times, your worst battle is yourself. And if you can encourage your will and your strength and your determination to really stick with something and to, yes, I'm doing what's right for me, we need to engage the brain, and your aromatherapy is your first step to do that. But it also is going to give you physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, nutritional benefits instantly. So now you're activated. So now you're going to make some good food choices. One of a very good tip, when you're stressed, you are going to do better when your food is warm, not cold. So not raw vegetables. But if you lightly steam them or blanch them, you would do better because it opens it up, and now it's just nourishing. It's like giving every organ on the inside a big hug. So baked apples would be great. If you really want to nourish the adrenals, you could put some brie or do some organic raw cheddar or Havarti, and you can put that on the apples and bake that. Sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. That's really nice and nourishing, especially for somebody who is so stressed out that they're losing weight, or you're not hungry, or you just feel sunken in. Doesn't matter what your weight is, but you feel sunken in and defeated. You just can't snap out of it. You're so fatigued, so exhausted, so beaten down. This nourishment is what you need. So warming that up. If you have some of the Bragg's liquid aminos, I like to put that on there. And I like to put a splash of sea salt because sea salt is a conductor for the body. When you go back and look at the periodic table and you look at the benefit of sodium as a conductor to activate the cells and activate a cellular response, then I add that. Fruits are going to be really good too, so you can grill your pineapple or grill your watermelon. Avocados are really nice, mashing them up with a little bit of sea salt and lime. I say no sugar because I'm teaching you the rules. The rules are no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, absolutely no artificial sweeteners. I'm not budging on that. So you have sugar right now. Okay, your goal would be no added sugar. So wherever you are in your journey, I want you to think about and take action over the next week to cut back. So if you do, just for quantitative measures, if you do 4 packets of sugar a week, I want you to do 3.5. A week or 2, I want you to do 3. A couple weeks, do 2.5. A lot of people go in with this all or nothing mentality. No, let's do baby steps. Let's really give your body a chance to adapt because we want a habit, not a fad. Herbally, you have remedies, so finding adaptogens like rhodiola, ashwagandha, schizandra, eleuthero, your ginsengs, doing adaptogens. Soul Naturals has a formula called Adaptable that has really nice adaptogens in it, but it also has St. John's wort. And I never realized the power of St. John's wort. I was always afraid of it because I'm like, that's only for depressed people. Not necessarily. It is a nervine. It nourishes our nervous system. Really good to make you feel stronger and that you can handle any situation with confidence and with focus. It's great for the nervous system anxiety. Essential fatty acids are huge. Essential fatty acids, you hear omega-3s, omega-6, omega-7, omega-9. You know, your omega-3 is your EPA and DHA. Your omega-6 are your GLAs, so blackcurrant, evening primrose. So doing some good fats, coconut oil, olive oil, sesame oil especially when there's liver congestion going on, sunflower oil, doing good essential fatty acids. So you can use these oils in your foods, but you also need to do them, in my opinion, on a supplement because good fats is what helps you release the bad fats. A lot of people freak out and they're doing this whole low-fat diet trying to lose weight, release weight, but you really need to have some good fats. And so the Soul Megas from Soul is my personal favorite. A, because I gave them insight on one ingredient that I wanted, and they were so amazing that they added the one ingredient because being a person with Crohn's, colitis, leaky gut, and irritable bowel, I have a hard time breaking down fats. People with no gallbladder have a hard time breaking down fats. So the Soul Megas is all vegan. You have chia seeds, flax seeds, sea buckthorn, which is giving you omega-7. But there's lecithin from sunflower in here because the lecithin is a fat emulsifier. So for people that have a hard time breaking down fats, you want to add a fat emulsifier in, like sunflower oil or lecithin. Probiotics are huge because remember, your gut is our second brain. We have our brain, and your nose is a protrusion of your brain. Your nose is your external brain. That's how amazing our sense of smell is. That's why we use aromatherapy so much. So we have our brain, but then everything goes through your gut. This is where remember when I talked about the nutrients have to be transported and then they have to get on the right cell to be communicated? This all happens in the gut, so your gut needs to be in good shape. So probiotics, really important here. The Probio IQ I like because you've got your probiotics, but there's Bacopa in here. And Bacopa, Dr. Amen, if you are ever familiar and you do any research with Alzheimer's and dementia, Dr. Amen does a lot with the brain clinics. And He is really a huge fan of Bacopa, so is Dr. Oz, because Bacopa is brain food. But remember, our gut is our second brain, so it opens up pathways. So think about it's like a snowplow. If you're snowed in and you need a snowplow to go open up the pathway so you can drive and go somewhere, your Bacopa does that. Okay, we also need protein, and so your good proteins here. And so you've got a lot of different proteins on the market. Soul Complete is a pea protein. Pea proteins from your yellow pea are going to be easier to digest. So people with digestive issues, you want to do a pea protein. Whey is going to be good, and a lot of your wheys are going to be beneficial as long as it's a good whey source to kind of speed up metabolism as well. But some A blood types and people with digestive issues don't really do well with whey. So as long as you don't have issues, then a soy or a whey would be fine. But people with digestive issues, you want to do a pea protein. Okay, you want to move, walk, do some yoga, even if it's 10 minutes. Don't think I'm not exercising because I don't have an hour today. That's fine. Take 5 minutes. What if you took 5 minutes while you're brushing your teeth and you do squats while you're brushing your teeth? Okay, if you did that twice a day, you would be doing squats twice a day. 10 minutes. That's exercise. Doing the deep breathing exercises, moving. Your lymphatic system does not have a pump. Your circulatory system has the heart as a pump, but your lymphatic system does not have a pump. The only way it moves and gets decongested is through movement, through yawning, through massage, through jumping up and down. These deep breathing exercises can move, it can be lymphatic exercise. And if you sit at a computer all day, do your chair exercises. Take your hand, so take your right hand and put it underneath your computer chair and kind of lean back so there's no stress on the back. And then tilt your head to the left and feel that stretch. It releases that tension so you don't feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and your shoulder blades get all in knots. And then do the other arm. You can sit on your chair and put your legs straight out in front of you and take your arms and hold on to the sides of the chair. Lift your butt up, lift it down. Lift it up, lift it down. Movement. So whether you're in a cubicle all day or you have the ability to get out and walk around the block, move. And lifestyle. Journaling is great. Writing in a journal. How did you feel today? What made you mad? What made you tick? What made you excited? Journal. Have a conversation with yourself. Connect with yourself. Have a hobby. At least a couple times a week you should be doing something for fun. Not because you have to, not because there's a consequence, not because you're dutiful, just for sheer fun. Just because it's a good laugh. And you want to get to bed by 10. You need a good night's sleep. Huge when you're working on weight, whether you're looking to gain weight or lose weight. This is for everybody. This is why. Your second adrenaline, have you ever heard of your second wind? Have you ever tried to go to bed at nighttime and if you don't get to bed by 11, like you're up till 2? This is your second adrenaline. Your second adrenaline kicks in at 11 p.m. because your body does maintenance on different parts of your body 24 hours a day. That's called your circadian rhythm. So at 11 o'clock at night, your body is starting to do maintenance and detoxify. All of your detoxification. That's why from the last meal that you eat till breakfast, you're fasting. You're fasting. You're not putting stuff in so your body can 100% concentrate on taking out the toxins that are there. Releasing the trash. Releasing those foreign invaders, whether it's false estrogen that's throwing your hormones off, herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals. We need to take out the trash. So at 11 o'clock, you need to be completely asleep. So if you're in bed by 10, you need to be asleep going into REM at 11 because 11 to 1, your body is working on gallbladder. Gallbladder creates all of this dish soap, creates all of the cleaning mechanisms your body's going to need to finish the detoxifying. It's the beginning step. 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, your body is doing maintenance on liver. Amazing organ, does over 100 different things. Over 500 different things, actually. You know, it's responsible for all of your hormones, breaking stuff down, flushing it out. And then from 3 to 5, it's doing maintenance on the respiratory. So you need to be breathing, because our respiratory isn't a limited channel. We breathe in oxygen, we release carbon dioxide, but it also stimulates circulation so you don't get stuck. Because from 3 to 5, it's working on our intestines. So we wake up, we have a great bowel movement, and we urinate. We're taking out the trash. Think of the night crew that goes to clean up for the day, so when people go in first thing in the morning, it's got a nice shiny place to go to work. This is your body. So when you wake up in the morning, you should be hydrating. You should be drinking at least 8 to 16 ounces of water. Hydrate. And then you should be doing some protein, because this initiates our amino acids, which is our building blocks of our cells. Your body just did a whole marathon all night long. So you're breaking your fast, your breakfast, break fast, with some good protein. And you can even throw chia seeds, so you're getting your proteins and your fats and your water. Okay, you're getting that trilogy, and you're hydrating. And then you can do a breakfast. And then maybe 10 o'clock you can do coffee. A lot of people do coffee first thing in the morning, and it's so acid it kills all the B vitamins your body just worked all night long to give you, so you have energy to sustain you all day. Just ran a marathon, and now you just poured acid on it. So just some minor shifts can make a huge difference when you're working on your healthy weight. So stress and weight. A lot of people emotionally eat because they're bored, they're anxious, they're sad. Some people stop eating. So on average, when we interact and make food decisions at least 200 times a day. Wow. So yeah, just keep your essential oils in your pocket. We need to be eating to live, not living to eat, because we need this to survive. But we also need the social connection. That's why you sit at a table with your family and you eat a meal. Because you have interactions, no cell phones, smartphones, no computers, no technology, no TV. You have a human connection, because that energy is going to nourish your body. When you bring in electromagnetic frequencies from the computer and the smartphones, it doesn't allow you to absorb the nutrients at the full capacity from your food. This is huge. So we just need to shift our mental thinking of, we're having a nice meal with the family, home cooked. You know exactly what all the ingredients are because you made it. So this mental shift to eat, to live, and nourish our body. You're going to see a shift in your mood, your emotions, your behaviors, your reactions, and your responses. So I've coined the term Weighlthy, Weighlthy, weight and health combined. So your Weighlthy Scents, your healthy weight. Citrus. So already we're seeing, hey, citrus oils are going to manage my stress, and they're going to help me here. Because your scents, they really initiate this response. It also can adjust and shift your thoughts. Thoughts, sometimes, they get the best of us. They make us make bad decisions, but they can also help us make good decisions. So your citrus is going to help you just have fun, just tap into your inner child, you know, whether you're going to go grab crayons and just doodle. They're nourishing. You're going to get some vitamin C. So your spices are going to give you the spice in life. They're bringing in some fire, especially for people that are emotionally cold. Like when a situation comes up, they kind of just disappear, or they don't handle it. They try to bury it because they build this cold wall. They numb themselves. You can only bury problems for so long before your barrel runneth over, and then you have a mess. So dealing with things at the time you need to deal with them and work through them, and then you release them. But also speaking up for yourself. Spices can do that. So the lift blend that I talked about earlier with the cinnamon and the fruits and the camphor, amazing here. Because camphor is allowing you to feel that you have room to breathe. You don't feel suffocated. You don't feel shut down. Your floral scents are wispy, they're free-flowing, they're flower-like, they're injecting beauty. If you need to feel that way, then do your floral scents. The earthy and herby scents, your thymes, they're going to make you feel more grounded, secure, safe. Frankincense. And if you're doing flower remedies, again, the Be Responsible is going to help you with these. Mm-hmm. And so some foods are going to be your fruits and your vegetables, doing your organic meats and fish, getting it from a local farm or getting it organic from a co-op is going to be really, really important, because if you're doing it that's not organic, they're being pumped full of hormones and antibiotics, and guess what? You're ingesting that. Our hormones get thrown off when we drink out of non-BPA plastic water bottles, when we're exposed to chemicals, either from doing your nails or doing your hair, spraying the lawn, eating inorganic fruits and vegetables. This causes fake estrogens in our body, which throws off our good estrogens and progesterone. Then we have hormone issues. Then we have hormone weight. Then we start having mental issues. Then we start having joint issues, back issues, muscle issues, respiratory issues. So doing organic as much as possible is important. Cultured whey. So there's a company called Beyond Organic that does a cultured whey. In Iceland and Switzerland, the cultured waters, your cultured whey is known as your healing waters, because it provides like your sodium, your potassium, calcium, your good minerals like electrolytes, but it decongests the lymphatic system at the same time. Coconut water gives you a similar benefit. Okay, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners. So not to hop on that soapbox, but, you got the pink and the blue stuff and you got the yellow stuff. Your pink and your blues have been linked to your cancers. And yes, there's certain remedies you can do for those. Your yellow stuff is causing irreversible nerve damage. It's eating the myelin sheath off your nerves and causing brain tumors and renal failure. No artificial sweeteners. It's this monster molecule that your body cannot recognize. Sugar, your body at least can recognize. Might not always be able to get it out, but it can recognize it. That's half the battle. You don't mind talking to somebody you know. If you got 50 bullies coming at you, you're not going to really be happy. So don't give your body bullies. Your herbs, protein is going to be important here. So your protein shake, in the protocols that I help my clients with, again, when you wake up, I like doing water. I like to hydrate. And then I like to do a protein shake. Now, some people, my mom, for example, she just got done going through chemotherapy and radiation, and so I'm building her body back up. And so she gets full really easy. She had colon cancer, so her digestive system is still a little sensitive. And so with her, we do 2 ounces of a protein. Now, I do 1 scoop with her. Normally, your protein powders come with a scoop, so I do a scoop with her. But she only does about 2 ounces, and she sips on it, because more than that will cause, it just causes a little bit of discomfort, because where she's at, I have to do small repeated amounts with her throughout the daytime. So if you eat, and as soon as you eat, you get gas, bloated, you look like you're 6 months pregnant, your stomach is distended, you just feel heavy, then back off on the amount that you're eating. You may be eating 10 times a day, but you're not eating huge portions like buffet style 10 times a day. You're eating small repeated amounts. So doing a protein shake, anywhere from 2 to 8 ounces of your protein shake. Enzymes, huge. Got to do your enzymes. The Vertizymes is one of my favorite because you have protease in here to break down your proteins and your carbs and your fats. You have a full line, a full spectrum of enzymes breaking everything down, but there's also digestive aids. Being a person with Crohn's and colitis, this is always a sensitive area for me. I get immediate results with this. Doing your essential fatty acids that we talked about earlier. Your anti-inflammatories, something that's anti-inflammatory, meaning it does not cause an inflammatory response. It doesn't release all of these mast cells. Your body produces mucus to go after a toxin. So if you ever eat a food, if you eat dairy, close your eyes and just listen to yourself or listen to other people. That's what you're going to hear, because a lot of people have generated and produced all this mucus because your body sees it as an irritant. So if there's excess mucus in the body and we need to flush that mucus out, we want some anti-inflammatories like the Solflex. We want to balance our pH, and we do that providing the right minerals to our body. And you want some adaptogens, the adaptogens we talked about earlier that helps your body deal with stress. Balancing your blood sugar and cravings. There's a formula called Cinnamate that has cinnamon and yerba mate because it's giving you that energy, but it's stimulating your metabolism. And then you have things in there like nopal and banaba that's going to help balance that blood sugar. Blood sugar goes back to pancreas, but it also tells us that you're fat and protein deficient. So with blood sugar, instead of grabbing sugar, go grab an avocado, go grab a spoonful of coconut oil. Do your Cinnamate. This is really going to help nourish the body. Moving. In this instant, you're going to want to do weight-bearing exercises, even if it's a 2-pound weight, even if it's a bottle of water in each hand. Doing something to build a little bit of strength. You want to get the cardiovascular system going, so doing some Zumba, doing a fast walk or a jog, or burst exercises. An example of a burst exercise, we're sitting here, so if I was to stand up and run in place for 2 minutes, and then I sit down, and then I wait a couple minutes, and then I get back up and I run in place for 2 minutes, and I do that for 3 sets, that's a burst exercise. So I actually get more benefit with burst exercises, and I really only have to do it 15 minutes a day. And I feel just as good if I work out for an hour. So not for everybody, but it might be for you. Your lifestyle, you want to hydrate your body. Take your body weight, divide it by 2. Okay, if you weigh 100 pounds and you divide it by 2, that's 50. That's the least amount of ounces of water you should be drinking a day. So if you're 100, half that's 50, you need to be drinking 50 ounces a day. If you're 150, you break that in half, 75 ounces of water a day. That's less than a big gulp. It's not hard. Water, hydrate. Get in bed by 10. Find you a hobby. Have some fun. Journal. Here you want to journal about your foods and your emotions. Why are you craving certain foods? What emotions are attached to that? Why did you want that ice cream? And how did that ice cream make you feel? How did it make you feel just thinking about it? How did it make you feel after you ate it? Supporting the brain, you are going to see a lot of research coming out that your dementia and your Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes. Okay, look at that. Type 3 diabetes. Wow. Blood sugar is related to brain. We have blood sugar imbalances because we're not eating enough proteins and fats, and we're not hydrated because we're overstressed and we're letting toxins in. Look how easy this process can be. I know it's easier said than done, but if you take away one or implement one thing that you're learning tonight, you can change your life tonight. You can change your life tomorrow. You could be on your way. It's not the very end results. It's this journey to get you there. It's baby steps. Pick one thing. Don't let this be overwhelming. Lavender is one of your best essential oils to increase your alpha waves, which is very important for relaxation. When people panic, When people have Alzheimer's and whenever you're so stressed out you just can't think straight, sometimes you just need to relax a little bit, take the edge off, and then you can think clearly. This helps increase cognition and focus. Rosemary is an essential oil highest in oxygen. Highest oxygen content, so it's kind of like CoQ10. Puts oxygen in the blood. We need this for focus, memory, but respiratory. So lavender is in your balance blend that I talked about along with your frankincense, and frankincense is my #1 oil for allergies. Whether it's a food allergy, a pet allergy, an environmental allergy, a person allergy. Geranium helps manage the stress. There's a blend that I formulated called Clarify, and the Clarify has lemongrass, amazing for the immune system, but also the nervous system and the brain to help us have clarity. Spearmint helps us take in new ideas. Black pepper. When you put black pepper in your food, there's a reason. It opens up gut communication. Fennel. Again, it feeds the brain and the second brain, the gut. Your rosemary and basil, your sweet basil. I use basil a lot for neuropathies. So for when I work with paralysis, partial paralysis and full paralysis, it really helps regenerate some nerve endings. This whole blend does that. Regenerate nerve endings. If you can keep learning something new every day, your brain is getting exercise. Then you won't have indecision and uncertainty. But if you do, there's a flower remedy called Be Courageous that helps with that. So some holistic solutions, foods, high fat. I should have here good fat. Okay, your disclaimer, good fats. Your oils. Avocados, something so simple and so inexpensive. Salmon, nuts. Hydration. Eating your fruits and your veggies. And your fruits and your veggies here are going to be okay raw. Your almonds, your cashews, your almonds you can soak in water overnight so you can kind of open up the enzymes so you digest them better. You're going to get a good source of protein out of them. But your organic meats and fish, your raw, organic dairy, no sugar or artificial sweeteners. Do you see a redundancy here? So it's not like you have to learn all of these things. There's a few simple steps, and look at how many things you can accomplish with a few simple steps. Aromatherapy, essential fatty acids, enzymes, probiotics, protein. You want to throw in some antioxidants here and kind of restore the body. There's a formula called Soul Excel. It's got maca, and maca is used a lot in South America it nourishes the body. It's an adaptogen. They give it to the children. But it has a really cool fruit in it that you're going to start hearing a lot more about, and it's called the kupawasu fruit. Kupawasu fruit. And this is more potent in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory than noni. So, and I personally like it because to me, it's my pina colada. So, you got to have fun. Remember, you have to have fun in a daytime. Make it fun for yourself. So if you do smoothies, put some fruit in it. Have fun. Movement. Change up your daily movements. This is what helps create new connections and new neurons in your brain. When you learn something new, I hate to say it, but you learn something new on your smartphone. You try to tie your shoe an opposite way. Tai Chi is one of the best exercises to re-engage the brain and to learn new things because you're doing new movements. If you have the same routine every day, change it up. Don't get stuck in a rut. Do crossword puzzles and word searches. There's magazines out there now with brain exercises. Okay, let's look at lifestyle. In bed by 10, no surprise. Have fun. At this point, you're saying it with me. Hobby. Create something new once a week. Invent something. Have you ever thought in a daytime, think about what you think about? Man, my life is difficult because if I had this one thing, if I had a vacuum, that vacuum my house by itself, wouldn't that be great? Somebody thought of that. So do you have a problem in your life? Try to create a solution. Invent something, whether it's silly or not. A, it's fun, and B, you're connecting your brain. We all would love to have more productivity in a day. We want to be more efficient, we want to be more accurate, and we want to do that with no stress. Not somebody looking over our shoulder. Not us having a timeline for ourselves of perfectionism and control. Jasmine is a wonderful oil for focus and concentration and accuracy. There's been many a test done, especially with jasmine and lemon. You have a lot of scientific studies done that show you put two sets of people. You have one room where there's no aromatherapy diffused, and you put other people in a separate room where they're diffused with either jasmine and or lemon. Those people with the aromatherapy type twice as fast and twice as accurate and twice as efficient. 2 times. Actually, over 54%. Wow. The Clarify blend that I formulated, this was one of the components that I put into the blend. So there was over 60 reasons why I formulated these blends the way I did. I wanted you to be able to get as most benefit out of them. So the lemongrass, again, great for productivity, just giving you this energy. When you smell lemongrass, whew, just kind of perks you up. Fennel. Fennel helps you fight off parasites, people that just suck you dry, but it keeps your gut strong, so you have a good gut connection. And when your core is strong, you stand up straight. Spearmint, taking in new ideas. Rosemary, oxygen. Basil, your nervous system. Your black pepper keeps you sharp. Wow, look at all this together. Thyme. Thyme heightens the senses. Smell your essential oil, but put it in your food when you're cooking. Now, for some people, they get so anxious, and they're kind of very airy. You know, we've heard that term, I had a blonde moment. Okay, there's just a disconnect. You're not connected. Your feet aren't on the ground. So we need to ground you a little bit more. Then you want to do something like a calm blend. This has your blue chamomile, which is for adrenal exhaustion. Your petitgrain for calming you down. Your patchouli. Patchouli helps you to stay grounded but to let go. People with constipation are not letting go of something. If you ever have to handle a tough situation, a lot of times you feel like you got to have a bowel movement and it's just sitting in your stomach. But after you handle that, boy, notice you're going to go have the best bowel movement. You just let something go. But you're holding grudges. You're holding on to the past. You're not able to move forward. And then oak moss helps in that same capacity. So for those people that are people pleasers, so they're not productive because they're doing stuff for everybody else or they're not getting their own stuff done, we need to help you set boundaries. And so there's a flower remedy called Find Strength. And if you do a lot of the flower essences as singles, let me know, and I'll give you the link to go look at those formulas so you can see what's in them. So your holistic solutions, here we go. Fruits, vegetables, organic meats, and fish. Have you noticed this is the outer aisles of the grocery store minus the bakery? Okay, you go in, skip that bakery, hold your nose if you had to, because remember your sense of smell teaches you how to taste. Go to the produce department, go to your meat section. Get out. Do not go down the inner aisles of the grocery store. There's no nutrients in your box, can, or bags. No sugar, no artificial sweeteners. You want to nourish yourself here. For productivity, I do like the maca blend, so maca is really nice for that, but also some antioxidant fruits. You have all of those in the Sol Excel, or you can do them individually. Your essential fatty acids, huge. I've always had a trouble gaining weight, but I've always had trouble since I've had the Crohn's and colitis for the past 12, 13 years. I starve. I can eat, but sometimes I feel like I'm starving. So that's why I juice a lot. I'm very careful about my food choices. I'm not a purist, but I try to eat clean as much as I can. But I have found by doing an omega that agrees with my body, so I think this one was huge for me, I have found I'm more satisfied with my food. I actually feel like I'm able to hold on to nutrients. I have felt strong enough that I've been actually doing a boot camp, so I've actually been exercising, and I'm starting to build muscle. My problem is I never had the muscle there to begin with. Some of you have the opposite problem, that you have some excess weight, but we need to manage that weight to really turn some of that fat to release it, but to strengthen those muscles as well. And so omegas can do that, your essential fatty acids, and the Solmega is my favorite. And again, a probiotic. Not rocket science. Move, walk, jog, chair exercises. And again, you don't have to do this for an hour, but 15 minutes a day. If you're at a computer all day, get up. You know, you think about smokers. They go and take a smoke break for 15 minutes. Look at how much you can accomplish in 15 minutes. No smoking. But you go outside and you get some fresh air and you walk around the block, or you walk up and down the stairs. You move, do something, do a yoga pose, do a burst exercise. There's a lot of really good burst exercises on Google, and you can watch a video and do it with the video. Lifestyle, be in bed by 10. Find a hobby, have fun. This is a key. You want to set a power hour. You want to create a things to do list. We spend half our time trying to figure out what we need to do. But if you set 1 hour aside a week and create your things to do list, every day you're going to pick 3 things from there. And then for that day, you can do those 3 things, because there's always going to be something that pops up in a daytime. But you can probably get those 3 done. If it was a great day and you had no interruptions, you can pull 1 or 2 over and finish those. But do your power hour. This keeps you moving forward, keeps you productive, and it's going to help calm that mental chatter. Your energy. We need vital energy. We need to shut down that mental chatter, turn those into positive thoughts, and really combat that fatigue and exhaustion. But we want that vital energy. So some spices can do that. The cinnamon can do that. A lot of times you think about when we have no energy and we have this fatigue, it's because something's gone viral in the body. I mean, it's just, you think of a viral video, you know, your body started with a negative thought and it's just gone viral. You started out with not a lot of energy, well then that no energy has gone viral into even more no energy. So we need some things to address from an antiviral perspective, and Ravenstar is huge. I use Ravenstar a lot with chronic fatigue. A lot of your autoimmune are viral. So you think of chronic fatigue, Epstein-Barr, fibromyalgia, your eczemas, your cancers, all those have a viral component. And so your cinnamon stops the spread of infection and airborne viruses. Ravenstar, antiviral, your citrus, giving your body vitamin C to fight for itself. Fight for yourself. So citrus and mints are huge here for uplifting and revitalizing. Eucalyptus can give you room to breathe. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're having hysteria, if you blame yourself, if you have an addictive personality. And the Clarify blend will help light the way. It just infuses a lot of light and a lot of energy, keeping you focused and sharp. From a flower remedy, there's a flower remedy combination called Open Heart, which is for grief. You have Keep Cool if you're more angry. Do you not have energy because you're grieving? Do you not have energy because you're anger? Do you not have energy because you just cannot let something go and it's owning you and just taking and consuming you? This is how you choose your flower remedies. Holistically, your fruits, your vegetables, your protein shakes, adding in some coconut water and electrolyte beverages can be helpful your cultured way. Reducing, getting rid of your sugar, your excess sugar and artificial sweeteners. Giving your body a good probiotic. Balancing that blood sugar. When you balance your blood sugar with the proteins and the fats, then you can have more energy. You can stay focused. We need pH balance. We need enzymes and the essential fatty acids. We need to move, so fast walking, get the heart rate up a little bit. So we're not going to be doing yoga to calm down. We need to energize. We need to do something to get the heart rate up a little bit. Deep breathing can help. Lifestyle, in bed by 10, find a hobby, have fun. If you have negative thoughts going on, you may have to practice something. And if something's going round and round, just say, stop. Jennifer, stop. And look somewhere. If you're looking in the sky, wow, the sky is so pretty. It's blue. Look at the green leaves on the tree there. And turn to something else. You may physically have to retrain yourself to stop a negative thought pattern and turn that into something positive. Because if you keep stopping that negative thought pattern, then you're teaching your body, don't do that. And then you turn that into something positive. That's why we have affirmations. So if you need to have a good word for the day of, and you need to sing that song Happy by Pharrell, then you sing that song, you're happy. Find something to stop that negative thought pattern. For sleep, I've explained to you why you need to be in bed by 10. So some oils that can help. Blue chamomile is great for adrenal exhaustion. There's two types of sleep. Okay, there's a few things I'm going to teach you here. So to go to sleep, are you so exhausted? You've been up for so long. You haven't got a good night's sleep in days that you can't get a good night's sleep? Because if so, you need to give yourself something energizing. If you are so spastic and hysteria and panic and anxious, then you need to do something calming. That's trick number one. The second thing is, do you have trouble getting to sleep or staying asleep? If you have trouble getting to sleep, get in bed by 10. Let's try to make this a habit so we can see if we can get your second adrenaline to calm down and really go in and let your body detoxify. If you continue to have trouble getting to sleep, then you may want to work on gallbladder. If you wake up, what time do you wake up? The most common response I hear is between 1 and 3, liver. People are going to bed angry. They watch the news. You watch the news, people are getting shot. There's a lot of negative stuff out there. I wish they would talk about all the good stuff, the people that, that did a kind act for the day. I mean, it would be so much more pleasant. So don't go to bed angry. If you wake up from 3 to 5, then what are you grieving over? What are you feeling guilty over? You need to journal before you go to bed to release those thoughts. So sometimes we need to be calmed down. So patchouli, your oak moss, the calm blend. We might need lavenders and chamomiles, that nurturing caretaker. But if you're needing a little bit of energy, then smell some cinnamon or smell the lift blend. You can smell the clarify blend. It might be a little too stimulating, but see how you do. And the distress remedy or the 5-flower is really nice before you go to bed. So warm foods, and sometimes because you are going into a fast all night long, you may need a little bit of a good fat. If you go to bed at 10, maybe at between 7 and 8, hopefully around 7, maybe you take a little nibble of a little piece of avocado or a little piece of cheese or have a small yogurt, or if you do kefir. Something, that way your blood sugar doesn't get the best of you while you detoxify all night long. That's if you have trouble. That's if you're waking up with a rapid heart rate or you just feel like, oh my God, my blood sugar's way off. That's a little trick to help you through the night. But try to fast as long as you can all night long. You try to do an 8-hour fast. So you at least stop eating at 7 and you don't eat again until 7. Herbally, enzymes, probiotics, essential fatty acids, your 3 staples. No matter what, enzymes, probiotics, essential fatty acids. Adding in an adaptogen can enhance your sleep. Doing some yoga, some deep breathing, some walking. If you're going to do the bicycle, it's not a fast ride, it's a slow ride. You can do the elliptical. Bed by 10, journal before you go to bed, release. No TV, no lights, no stimuli. Okay, now we need good posture and movement. So what's going to help you be more flexible to adjust and sway and shift with the challenges that you have for a day? What's going to keep you strong? and have a good posture and strength and support yourself. Myrrh is wonderful for flexibility, but it's great for the thyroid because it helps you stand up for yourself. Wonderful for skin support. Frankincense is another one that helps. And so the balance blend, you've got the lavender, perfect harmony, but also so nutritive. Your frankincense and geranium, very balancing. Whenever, if you can stand up straight and balance on one leg, think of this nice balancing act. And then the palmarosa may change, just kind of round that out. But if you're having some nerve pain and you're not able to have this flexibility and you're having some swollen joints, the marjoram is beneficial here. Sandalwood is great when there's a lot of edema and swelling, congestion, people that need strength and endurance. And then the Clarify blend, I mean, I've explained that a lot tonight. So it's bringing clarity, but a lot for the nerves. I use this. This is my formula that I use specifically with people that have had an amputation. They have neuropathies. They have sciatica. They have anything to do with the nerves, paralysis, partial paralysis. The Clarify blend is great here. And then the Fine Strength Flower Remedy. And then for foods, your fruits, your vegetables, the outer aisles of the grocery store, no sugar. Here you want to add in addition to the enzymes and the essential fatty acids, you do want to add in some anti-inflammatories. Things like your curcumin and your boswellia, which is frankincense. These are powerful anti-inflammatories, so the Soulflex has those in it. But you also want to provide minerals because that balances your pH. It allows you to absorb your calcium for strong bones, and it keeps your body from sucking it out of your reservoir. Remember, your bones rebuild themselves every 7 years based on the tools that it has at that time. So if you've depleted it, it can't really rebuild itself, but if you nourish it in 7 years, you can have strong bones, stronger bones. Weight-bearing exercises, very important for posture and movement, for strength, to combat osteoporosis, osteopenia, yoga, Zumba, Pilates, stretches, and be in bed by 10, have some fun. Reflexology, chiropractic, and acupuncture support can really be beneficial here. And so tying all of this together for your aromatherapy for emotional stress, for fear, your frankincense is one of your #1 oils for fear. Nightmares, night fright, bedwetting. Balance is huge here. For anger, you want to look at the Calm blend or lavender or lemon or chamomile or patchouli even. For grief and guilt, the Lift blend or doing your cinnamon and your Ravensara. Rose is another oil that would be wonderful here. If you're feeling overwhelmed, your eucalyptus or your Clarify blend. For stress and anxiety, panic attacks, any citrus, any of your calming scents. So the Calm would be good here. And just to have joy. And if you're a joyous person, we want to keep that joy. We're not only working on imbalances, we want to keep you what's good. Let's keep it good. So citrus, camphor, your uplifting scents, your outer aisles of your grocery store, your enzymes, probiotics, essential fatty acids, throwing in, enhancing that with adaptogens and minerals, movements, lifestyle, bed by 10, hobby, journal, but create something. Get your crayons out, get your color markers, get your acrylics out. Go do something. You have the Pinterest is wonderful these days. There's so many projects. HGTV gives us stuff to create all the time. It challenges our mind. Just have fun. It's a type of release that you have. So I've given you a lot of solutions at your fingertips, but I did want to leave you with, you have these oils, so certainly you're going to smell them. But other ways you can use them is you can diffuse them in a room through an aroma ball or an ultrasonic diffuser, or they have these little nasal atomizers. I have them on my website if you need them. There's room and body sprays, and you can use your oils to make them up. You can use water as your carrier, or I like the Nature's Fresh enzymes from Nature's Sunshine because it's a complete, perfect solution of your enzymes. It's enzymes straight from your plants. There's nothing else in it. It's just enzymes, and enzymes are very hydrating and very healing to the skin. When you're having nerve spasms and muscle spasms, there's a dehydration going on, so you want to hydrate topically and internally. But you can also add aloe vera juice as a base and make a body spray, a deodorant. You know, deodorants are huge. You don't want aluminum in there because then it clogs those pores. But you can make up a lotion, a cream, or a massage oil. You can make up your bath salts. Important note here, when you take a bath, don't take those essential oils and drop them straight in the water because they're not water soluble, they're fat soluble. You need to mix them in with some Epsom salt or sea salt or Himalayan salt first, and then put those salts into the water. You need them emulsified first. You can also use them as a compress for headaches and sore muscles, aches and pains. So for a lot of people that can't soak in a bathtub, and it's really hard to get your neck, your occipital and your neck and your upper back and shoulder blades way down in the bathtub, so bring it to you. Soak a washcloth in hot water, use that Epsom salt formula on the cloth, and lay that on your shoulders, and then put a towel over it and let that infuse into your muscles. So in a nutshell, your toolbox is going to consist of essential oils, probiotics, and enzymes and essential fatty acids. You can take that a step further and add in some minerals, some adaptogens, some anti-inflammatory, and things for energy. This is what you need. If you've got a million things going on, if you take a personal assessment, a personal inventory of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual issues, you may say, wow, I've got a million things going on. Okay, everything on this list can help with that. How simple. So I'm offering a special tonight for listening to this class and taking this class. And I'm rewarding you, and I'm so proud of you for committing this time to learn some simple ways to help yourself and to make your life better. So for anybody that orders over $100 in product, I'm going to give you a $25 off coupon. And so if you want those blends that I talked about, they come in a 4-pack. If you want any of the herbal formulas, I have those as well. But I'm also offering consultations. And in my consultation, they're about an hour to an hour and a half long, but we play investigator. We're going to talk about everything that's going on, and there's certain tools that we're going to use to give us some specific details. So I use the Dermagrid, and the Dermagrid has over 20 years of medical database, medical comprehensive information. And so what I'm looking at is it's a scan analysis, and we're picking 100 points on that scan, and we're comparing it to this database because they've found, the medical doctors, the plastic surgeons, the dermatologists have found patterns. Certain skin patterns tell us that there's a vitamin C deficiency, a vitamin B deficiency. And so I've been cross-referencing this scan with blood chemistry, and it has been amazing. So if you want to ask your body, hey body, what's broken? What do you want? Help me out here. This is a great way to do that, and I'm offering them at 50% off. So normally I charge $85 for that, but they're only $42.50. And you get a lot of information for you, and then you decide. I help you put a plan together, and then you pick, where do you want to start? What do you want to do? And just to leave you with some upcoming classes, I have ongoing certification classes at gensense.com. They're NAHA and NCBT and be certified. I also do monthly classes via webinar. Some of them I do live classes. The NSP conference, the NAHA conference that's coming up, if you go to nahaconference.com, amazing. You're going to see all the speakers, all of the topics. I'm very honored to be one of the speakers. amongst the plethora of just amazing people that are there, along with Dr. Bruce Burkowski, who's also one of my mentors. So it's exciting that we're both going to be teaching at this conference. And then here's some references. You want to learn more, you want some science for my students out there that are researching. I've got some things at GenSense, but pubmed.gov, herbmed.org, NAHA has a section for aromatherapy research. And then there actually is some research studies that Soul has put together as well at thesoulsense.com. So I'm going to open it up for questions. If you need to get in touch with me, if you have a personal question or you have anything that you need from me, here's my email, jh@gensense.com. My website is www.gensense.com. And my phone number is 352-243-9627. And so I do travel quite a bit, but I always have my office forwarded to my cell phone. So I do get your messages. Sometimes I'm able to call you back right away. Sometimes it may take me the next day, so just be patient with me. But you have my information if you needed to get in touch with me for any reasons. And I'm looking in the chat, and Pat says I don't see the slides, so hopefully you were able to see them. If not, I didn't see that till now, so I'm so sorry, Pat. But if you, I emailed them out to everybody, but also if you may have to close the screen and look behind it, and the slides may be there as well. But you should have received the email with all of the slides in there. I tried to make it easy for you to take notes in there. So I'm going to go ahead and open the line. Does anybody have any specific questions about the material we went over tonight, or how do you apply that to you particularly? And if you were muted, *6 probably muted you. You can hit *6 to unmute you. Okay, wow. I must have covered a lot of information, so you're either pondering or you're putting things together, and you may need some time to digest this information. So work through the information, apply it to yourself. It's that old analogy, you put your mask on first before you put somebody else's on. So take care of yourself, and then you're able to share that and pay that forward to help somebody else in life. So I will stay on the call. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I'll be on the call to answer any other particular questions as well. So I want to thank everybody for your time and commitment to helping you find your healthiest self.